Hi guys, welcome back to another week. We're happy that you're here. If it's your first time, we hope that you will subscribe before you go. And if you've been here before, thanks for joining us again. Today we're going to be talking turkey hunting because we had opening day, and I'm going to share that with you as well as some other fun follies from our friends. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to the Mac Outdoors podcast, where a dynamic mother-daughter duo share their adventures, tips, and advice. I am Mia, and I'll be accompanied by the one and only daughter, Lea. It is time to get to outdoors, hunt, shoot, and spend time with family and friends. Let's get this show on the road. So Lea, last weekend was opening weekend, and unfortunately, you were out of town, being busy. She was out looking for sheds on opening day of turkey season. Who does that? Seriously.
Me.
Yeah, so I trudged out on my own. It's one of my favorite ways to hunt, but I also love hunting with other people too. But I went out and we guide turkey hunters, and we had some disabled veterans coming, and we had birds located for them on a few of the leases that we have. So that was the good news. The bad news is that means I've got to pitch it to public land. And I don't know, for many of you, if you hunt public land, then you probably understand when I say that, why I say bad news, because you just have to deal with other hunters and other things on public land. So my opening morning started out, I got to the trailhead, got all geared up, ready to go. Just had left the truck and wasn't even headed up the trail yet when a truck stops in the middle of the highway and starts hooting with their diesel running and lights on. And they start hooting, like trying to shock gobble turkeys that are roosted in the area. And of course, there was no sound. It was silent. They got back in, slammed their doors, took off. So I figured, well, I guess gotta go up. And this is an area that honestly I haven't hunted before. Lea and I tried one time before, and here's a folly. We went to turkey hunt there 2 years ago, and is that when it was?
I think so.
Yeah, and that was quite fun, wasn't it?
Yes.
Why don't you tell everybody what happened on that hunt, and then I'll finish telling about my opening day hunt.
Well, we were pretty determined to get out there and get packed up to the top of that hill, so we were rushing, getting all our gear ready and packed up and all of that, and we close the doors, lock them up, and get ready to go. And we're like, oh, forgot one thing, and go back to open the door, and we don't have the keys, neither one of us, and we're locked out. And where we're hunting, there's no cell service and not an easy place to just walk and go get cell service.
Yeah, so that was our experience hunting there. The first time was we had to spend the whole morning trying to flag somebody down to get us, and we walked a little ways. I actually borrowed a phone finally because we couldn't have anybody flagged down to come help us find a way to unlock the truck. And needless to say, one of our friends is a sheriff in town, and he made the trek all the way out there, half an hour drive, came and got us, took us to go find keys, and brought us back. So thank you to having sheriffs that are friends. So that was quite fun. That was a turkey hunting adventure. So this year, I head up to the top of that hill. I did better. I had keys and I was okay. I get to the top of the hill and I'm going to wait because after this vehicle trying to shot gobble and not hearing a single thing, I figured I'd wait for sunrise because honestly, I don't understand the terrain there. I haven't hunted there. So I'm waiting, and this is partly how I like to learn areas is go hunt them, and that's always fun. So I head out, get up there, and I'm waiting, and then I hear the tom gobble. He's in his roost. I know right where he is. I'm like, yeah, this is good. So I figured before the sun comes all the way up, I better cut the distance and get to where he's going to go. Get closer. So because there's oak brush where we hunt, there is a lot of oak brush, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get there silent. So I've got to get there quick before he knows what's going on. get down there through the brush and everything, and I hear a diesel pull up, park right beside my truck because I can hear this from where I was. And I hear doors open, doors slam at least 4 times. I hear shuffling, stomping, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is how you hunt, like really loud. And if I can hear him, I'm sure the turkey can hear him. So I'm like, well, I'm going to still trudge on because I'm already there. I may as well make the best of it and just learn this area. And next thing I know, I hear the best cluck and run that you can imagine, calling, cluck, cluck, cluck. And I was like, man, this guy can call. Well, he's just cutting the silence. I mean, just like crazy, because he never even heard the turkeys. He's just calling. And so I'm sitting there. Finally, I set up some decoys, and I'm like, I'm just going to wait, because by chance, if this guy's over calling happens to call in a bird, maybe he'll come to me because I'm in the middle. So he calls and calls, and you can hear him clucking and purr, 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 purr. And meanwhile, I heard the turkeys fly from the roost. I hear them clucking, and they're headed the opposite way. So they didn't come my way. And eventually, needless to say, my opening day was an opening day hike. I ended up hiking 3 or 4 miles and saw a lot of bear tracks, which was cool because I love seeing bear tracks. One of them, I was actually taking pictures of some does, and then I headed up the opposite way after they went, and it was actually trailing them. So that was kind of cool. I don't know where it was. If I had stayed where I was sitting long enough, I may have saw it go by. It was pretty neat. So, and elk and other hunters' tracks. And finally, at the last set of other hunters' tracks, I headed in and called it a day. So that was my opening day. Can you think of any other funny experiences during turkey hunting? She's making the oddest, funniest face right now, you guys. Like, I don't have funny experiences. She just doesn't have that happen. I can think of one that she and I both had. It wasn't on opening day, but we were hunting on one of our leases, and we had gone out that morning, and we snuck in. We were going to get this big tom, and we go down a hill through the leaves. Like, this time of year, there's still crunchy leaves. And we sneak down there, and then all of a sudden, like, we know the turkeys are out in the meadow, and all of a sudden we see these 6 sets of eyes looking at us. There's these poults. They busted us, and we're like mid-stride. Both of us are on 1 foot mid-stride, and we're stuck, and we're just like trying not to wobble, trying not to shake, and these poults are just like staring at us. They're like, we see you.
They even started coming closer to us, like, what are you? What are you doing?
What do you think you guys are doing? So, needless to say, we didn't scare the turkeys. We didn't bust them out. The poults eventually walked away, and we were able to sneak away. But we had a fun time that we only saw the hens. The tom never came in range. So we headed out, and we come out, and this is the weirdest thing. Like, this is a private lease. It's not a driveway. It's like just a road, not even a road. But anyways, we come out the gate, and there's this big white van parked behind my truck. And we come out, and we're like, what in the world? Like, we're blocked in, and it's weird. So I go down, and I pound on the van, and this lady comes out. She's like passed out in the van, and by this time it's like 9 or 10 in the morning. And she's like passed out in the van, and she gets out. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And come to find out, there's a little bit of a ditch there, and she had pulled in straight instead of kind of sideways, like going at an angle through it, and the hitch on her van got stuck in the back, and she couldn't leave. And why she pulled in, I have no idea, but anyway, she was stuck. So we ended up calling for some help and got her out and got her a cup of coffee and headed on her way. A while back, I wrote an article for Beretta about some turkey. I write a lot of turkey hunting for Beretta because of their shotguns, and Lea shoots with one of their Beretta guns for her competitions. And we wrote about turkey hunting follies, and in that I had asked a bunch of my friends on Facebook about their follies, and that was on my Facebook page on Mia Anstine. And Leah, will you read some of the stories that some of our friends put on there? Because some of them are really pretty hilarious.
There are a few good ones on here for sure. One of my favorites was from Louis Marcel, and I apologize if I say your name wrong, but he commented and said, called this one Tom for what seemed to be forever, and just as I was starting to walk him in, my youngest boy shows up out of nowhere on his dirt bike. He was done for, but at least Mama wasn't waiting for my harvest. You see, my boy, God bless this young man, was searching for me to let me know when I was ready for supper. It's ready whenever he wanted to come back home to eat. He never did get that, Tom. Sure glad to hear that I was still gonna have a full belly to sleep with.
That is a good one. What are some other ones?
Another good one from Adam McInery. He says, my hike into a canyon area where I wanted to call in turkeys was detoured because of a pot-growing operation covering several acres had a Mexican guy armed with a rifle guarding it.
Oh my gosh, I wonder if that must have been in Arizona or Texas, huh? I don't know. And nowadays it probably could be here, except now it's legal, so I guess there wouldn't be.
This one's from Bubba Ferris. He says, was sweet talking some birds on Soul Creek in Alabama. After 30 minutes, we hear steps behind us, and suddenly a freaking emu sticks its head around the tree. Not sure who it scared more, but the guy I was guiding said it was the biggest dang hen he'd ever seen.
That's a great one. And that one makes me laugh so much because we actually have an emu, and I know what those emus look like when they peek at you.
Yes.
Could you imagine?
Oh gosh, that would scare me for sure.
Yeah, at least like here at our house we have one, so we're not too startled by him because we expect him. But if you were out in the woods, could you imagine?
Oh no. Just like that emu that got away from the wildlife park.
Yeah. Wild emus.
This one's from Raymond Capel,
who is one of our best friends and followers.
He says, I was set up behind the blind that our friends were in, calling with a mouth call, bringing in some hot toms, when I heard a crackle of ground cover right behind me. As I slowly turned right, there, less than arm's length, was a huge coyote staring right in my face. About swallowed the call. Don't know who jumped the highest, but he sure didn't stick around to find out.
I can't think of any coyotes foiling our turkey hunts, can you?
Not that I know of.
I know I've had four-wheelers foil some of my archery elk hunts. I have had four-wheeler problems, and I have had coyotes not foil other hunts, but I have seen them on bear hunts a lot.
This one from Mike Johnson, he says, I walked into some deer Sunday in the morning darkness, walking in downwind of them on a trail in the Wayne National Forest, and I guess it pissed them off that I got so close to them because they took off blowing and snorting, went up onto the ridge where the turkeys were at, and just kept blowing and snorting for what seemed like 5 minutes. Needless to say, the birds were completely silent.
Too funny. If you guys have any funny stories, we'd love to hear them, and you can comment on our Facebook pages. We have Lea Leggitt's page or Mia Anstine's page, or you can tweet to us, Mia Anstine or Leah Huntress.
Yes.
And we'd love to hear stories. It's really fun. I mean, hunting is hard work and it's rewarding when you tag your animal, but it's also fun to go out there and have these experiences where you have these funny stories to share. So if you have some, please let us know. We'd love to hear them, and maybe we'll share them on another episode if we get enough.
Yeah, so be sure to share all your stories with us. It doesn't have to be turkey hunting related. I know we have some great elk hunting stories as well. So thanks for tuning in this week. We hope that you join us next week. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, guys.